and welcome to Sunrise Extra on New Year's Eve. Thank you for joining us this morning or watching later in the day. Whatever, welcome. We are talking about New Year's Eve and what your plans are because we did a little poll this morning.
Yeah.
And 93% I think of our audience is staying in. Same as you, right?
Yeah, we're staying in.
Same.
We're going to cook. I'm not sure what we're going to fix yet, but we're just going to have a nice, quiet night in. I was telling Nina that my daughter, this will be her first New Year's Eve after turning 21.
Ooh.
So she is going out with her friends, and the house is going to be quiet, and we're going to enjoy every second of it.
Fun. And you got the 3 kids at home.
We got 3 kids.
What do you guys? Devin has like the best, and I need to start writing this down, like traditions and holiday tricks up his sleeve to make holidays really special.
A lot of it is my wife.
Yeah.
But the one we did a couple years ago, we blew up balloons, and each hour they got to pop a different balloon. And then inside each balloon was like a different activity they could do. Maybe it was something like, go have a piece of candy, or go, let's watch a show. And there's a picture of my little ones.
So you would write something on a piece of paper and put it in the balloon and then blow it up?
And then they'd go and they'd pop it, and then we'd change the hour. Now, what we didn't tell
you made it like a clock.
Yeah, we made it like a clock. So each balloon has like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock.
Oh, Mike, she could have her own YouTube channel.
Yeah,
now,
this is genius.
What we ended up doing was changing the clocks on our microwave and our oven like every half hour to the next hour. So they had no idea that we were changing our clocks ahead. So yeah, we would go through hours like quickly. So we got them in bed probably about 9:30, 10 o'clock that night.
And they thought it was midnight.
But they didn't care. For them, it was just about the fun about popping a balloon. My oldest, I think she was 8 in that picture. She's now 11. She still wants to do. I mean, they now think that that's what they want to do every year. So now we got to bring it tonight.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
So. Now they know how to tell time. Now they know where to go to tell time, like their iPads or our phones or whatever. But yeah, we have more clocks, I think, now. So now I don't.
But it's like crafty and it's clever.
Where does she
We used
find
to like
these
play
ideas?
games and stuff like
I'm
that.
sure she found it on Pinterest.
Pinterest.
I'm sure Pinterest
God
or
bless
Facebook. Somebody else probably did it. Or,
That's a good idea.
Yeah. So it was a way to incorporate the kids doing that. A lot of people celebrate like New Year's, New York New Year's.
Yeah.
Yes.
9 o'clock.
Right.
And so that's kind of what we try and do too. I don't know what it is about staying up till midnight.
It's hard.
It is.
Yeah.
I hate to sound old, but
my kids are 5 years apart, and they always wanted to stay up. We did the East Coast New Year's as well at some point, but then they wanted to stay up till midnight. And the younger one, it got witchy. She just got too tired.
It got witchy?
Then yes,
what does that mean?
Just grumpy. She got too overly tired, and somebody would end up crying, and I'm like, we need to get you into bed before midnight.
Yep.
Yeah. So you're.
But I like this.
And then the next day.
Changing the clocks.
Yeah.
Would you do it like every half hour or 15 minutes and they just wouldn't know?
I just happen to be like, I'm going to get up and go get a new glass of water or whatever, and just kind of walk in, and I think our microwave made noise, like beep, 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 or whatever, but the kids never picked up on it. Yeah,
that
it was just fun.
Genius.
And for someone, like your daughter's age, what, she 2?
Yeah.
Obviously would be able to get away with it really easily, or, until she's 4, 5, 6, 7 or whatever.
I haven't told her, and she doesn't know what New Year's Eve is. I haven't told her anything. Just because I'm like, meh. As soon as you go to bed at 8 o'clock, I'm going to bed. My husband has the full-on flu. It's like his 4th time being sick this winter. So he was quarantined. I'm sleeping in the guest room. She's going to bed at 8. This is going to be a real whopper of a 2020.
I saw Nina in the hallway before the show this morning, and I said, I was wrong. I predicted that because she's got a fabulous wardrobe. I said, I know she's going to be in something a little bit shimmery today. And then she goes, oh, no, what? It's just Tuesday. And then she told me what all was going on at your household.
Bummer, man.
I don't blame you.
Hey, our director Brian said it's actually New Year's in, Korea? And so we have a live picture of it. Oh, Pyongyang. Let's go live to Pyongyang.
Location for the 2018 Winter Olympics.
Oh.
Is that it?
What's going on? State-run television in Korea. Wow.
I don't think I've ever seen a live feed from North Korea. Usually it's Sydney and Japan. But no, this is what we have for you this morning.
That was North Korea. I'm sorry, I made a mistake.
It is North Korea? Well, I guess Pyongyang.
Pyeongchang, I was thinking.
Yes.
Sorry, my mistake.
So what are people saying about New Year's? Nothing?
You know what? Oh, wait, no.
I got 2.
Tim!
You got
Good morning, Tim. He says, let's see. Oh, yeah. Staying home much cheaper and safer, which is absolutely true.
You were saying the funniest thing. So Brenda's like, I'm staying in because... She's like, what did you say?
So you do not want to be the news lady at the bar when everybody gets drunk.
I love that.
Because all filters come off and they get really familiar. Oh. And it's like all the attention, you know. Oh my gosh, yes.
And even your daughter says, like, you have, like, a look that you're unmistakably Brenda Braxton. Like, even if you put a hat on, if you put glasses on, like, people know who you are.
Well, I thought
and that's got to be such a whole weird thing to go out.
Well, I would think it'd be the opposite. Like, they'd see you and they're like, they're feeling all, you know, partying it up, and they're feeling all free, and then they see Brenda Braxton walk in and they're like,
oh no, it's the exact opposite.
I don't want to be on the news for this.
It was,
New Year's Eve was one of those days, like, I don't really care about Valentine's Day or whatever, but like I wanted to be taken out. I wanted to go to a party. I wanted to get dressed up.
Yeah.
Back, you know, in the younger days.
But
like go to some fabulous party and have tickets for it. And we did the Governor's Ball a couple years ago at
that's
the
fun.
Sentinel and the Governor Hotel.
Yeah.
That was fun. I remember live music.
I remember when I had my first baby, so she's 8 now, and I spent New Year's, I took a picture and I posted on my Facebook page, and I still have it, and it's just us laying on a bed like this. She was born in October, so she was just a couple months old, a tiny bed, and it was like so trippy because that was the first year I hadn't gone out for New Year's in so long, and I'm like, this is what I'm doing for my New Year's, is just hanging out with my baby. I was like, I stayed up later that night with a new baby than I did other New Year's. New Year's Eve night. That's true. That was tough.
I remember one New Year's, I think I was pregnant with Zach, and my ex is a musician, and so he was playing that night.
Yeah, that's
and I remember I remember feeling huge, and I thought, oh, this is the worst. Why did I come out? Just because you start to feel uncomfortable. So I ended up going up into the manager's office, and I was like, put my feet up.
Oh, good for you.
It's like,
what a trooper.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what I was thinking.
Oh, no way. I could not do that.
A couple years ago, we went to a wedding. My cousin got married New Year's Eve. I think that was the best time I've ever had on New Year's. Just whole family gathering together at I think it was a winery or a bar or something like that. And yeah.
I like the house
usually
parties.
We always do kind of just stay in or go to friends' houses. So,
yeah, that's fun.
House parties. Okay, the next topic is kind of fun or awkward.
Because we all work together, right?
So, yes. So Washington State University did a study that just came out that says harmless flirting at work can reduce your stress. Now, this is not harassment. This is reciprocated flirting, and don't do it if you're married, please. But back in the day...
What are you talking about? I'm flirting with you all the time.
So I was just reading, I have the study here, and there was some kind of funny stuff in here that I was reading about, because now of all the Me Too stuff, and I mean, you know, all of these scandals that have come out, Netflix, there's a couple companies that have like really now zero tolerance policies on like workplace
relationships or that kind of interaction.
So Netflix has a new policy where they have a 5-second staring limit at someone at work.
Sorry.
Where you can't look at longer than 5 seconds. NBC Network has a ban on sharing cab rides and actual guidelines written out for hugging a coworker. So this study from Wazoo says that if you put in these real strict policies, it tends to
increase stress, I would think.
It does.
Yeah, because you're just constantly...
You're like, I don't know if this is, this is okay or this is not okay.
I can see that.
But, and then also the study said that flirting between coworkers can be harmless and actually like make you excited to come to work and make you feel good about yourself if it's compliments and stuff. But it should not be from a supervisor. That makes people stressed.
Absolutely.
No,
that's totally inappropriate.
So there's all these different kind of parameters. But like, I remember when I was in my 20s and stuff, it was if you found someone at work that you kind of liked, and you can tell when someone is flirting back with you, I think.
Right.
And it was fun.
And what is harmless?
Is this what we talk about?
It begs the question, what's the definition of harmless flirting? I mean, like, I don't know.
I think you have to be able to tell, like, if the person is into it, or if, you can tell if someone's totally
But I remember,
by it.
when I first got here, like in 1989, 90, early 90s, whatever, tons of people were dating. And at that time, everybody was kind of around the same age.
Right.
And there were lots of different, as I recall, relationships on and off, and I always did think that was a terrible idea, just because I'm like, that's not going to last forever, and then what happens, and it's really
awkward. You still got to work with that person,
right? Yeah, so I
remember hearing about those days. When I got here, I remember
a lot of marriages and then a lot of divorces after that.
Yeah.
But this business is so funky, There's just in any city, there's only like 3 or 4 places to work if you're going to stay in this business, so it's hard to move around. You and your wife met at college, right?
We did. We lived in the same dorm, met on the same floor. Actually, we ran into each other New Year's Eve like 6 months later, and that's how we kind of started our path to getting married. Yeah.
So this is kind of an unofficial anniversary on New Year's Eve.
Kind of, yeah.
I was telling Nina, I said, I feel for men now. I understand why it would be a minefield out there to try and navigate, can I say this to you, or will you be offended, or is this inappropriate, or will it be perceived that way? And typically still, the guys are the ones who are going to initiate that contact.
Typically.
Oh, man. I
like Stanford's response.
I know.
Tell me, let's see.
Oh, no. Not with lawsuits and HR. No way, no how.
Not a chance.
And then Rob St. Helen says, look at Devin right now, looking at you as you tell the story. Not long enough.
I know, that's why it was like 5 seconds.
Yeah, it was 5 seconds. He can't even look now. He's like, what am I looking at? I'm looking at the table.
Yeah, sorry, avert my gaze.
I do have a habit, unfortunately. I don't know that it's really at work because I'm so used to you people, you guys, but I'm like, I will look at somebody I'm not thinking in like a flirty kind of way, but I'm like, it's interesting or whatever. My daughter's always like, Mom, that is like, you are just like completely like
intense.
I am a people watcher. I love that.
But as soon as they can tell you're looking, I always like totally look away.
Well, in an environment you're not allowed to look for more than 5 seconds, you're going to get a lot of this. People are going to start looking down all the time.
If you start thinking about that 5 seconds, you start thinking
what happened to everybody's confidence?
You're more focused on that than
well, everybody's looking on at the floor.
Oh, it's a shame. I don't know.
That's why everyone is on the dating apps. You just like swipe to the next person, and because I guess it's mutually exclusive. If you're both on the dating app versus like meeting someone at work. And you're like, I don't know if this is okay. Am I going to get fired? Do I need to tell HR?
We've had some people in here find their forever partners on like Match or one of the apps.
Yes.
Yeah, but I've also heard some god-awful horror stories. It's like, is there any good way?
How did you and your husband meet?
It was
totally putting you on
I know, that's okay. It's not. It's a little cliche. We met
Julie and I got married on the exact same day.
Did you?
Yeah.
Same year, same day.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Sometimes we like text each other on our wedding anniversary.
Happy anniversary, darling.
And then didn't I ask you what you got your husband? I'm like, what did you get him? What did you get him for your 10 year? 10 years. Yeah. 10 years. So I actually met him it was a first Thursday. I was working the late shift.
Yeah.
And I think it was a first Thursday, and there was there was like some kind of riots or protests downtown. So I'd just gotten off work, and I was like, well, I'm going to go meet one of my girlfriends at the time down at a bar. It was called at the time, it's not there anymore. It was called in the Pearl, called Trust. So I went in, met my friend, and then that's when I met my husband. Yeah, that night.
Did he just kind of come up and start talking to you?
No, I went up and started talking to him. Yeah.
Oh, go girls!
That's awesome.
Yeah.
She's proving my theory wrong.
I know.
It's the guys who make them.
Totally
so this is so funny. I don't know how much you want to get into it, but actually 2 days before I was out with a friend of us, who Jenny. I think it was Jenny Hansen from Point, and another Jenny who has since moved on. And I was talking to them about how Jenny, not Jenny Hansen, the other Jenny, met her husband, and she said, "Oh, I met him at a bar, and I liked him, and so I thought." And then he was going to leave. She's like, I thought he was cute and nice. And then he was going to leave, and she's like, oh, he left. And then her friend said, will you go after after him.
Yeah.
And she said, no. And her friend said, well, what's the worst thing can happen? You know, you crash and burn, you humiliate yourself. So what? You'll never see him again. What's the best thing that could happen? You could meet the guy you're supposed to be with for the rest of your life. So I'm not kidding. 2 days later, I'm sitting at this bar going, that guy's kind of cute. And so I was like, nah. And I'm like, well, what's the worst thing could happen? Crash and burn? Or you can meet, and I'm not kidding, I got up there.
Were you so nervous, or were you like,
yeah, I was like, yeah, it was a trip. I remember walking up and stopping and then having that play in my mind and thought, all right, I'm going to keep going. So and then I sat down with him and he looked at me like I was crazy and I thought, crash and burn, here we go, this is it. Hey, I got it out of the way. But then we ended up starting talking. And
that's
obviously,
great. Oh, that's cool.
10 years later.
That's a good
10 years ago now.
Yeah.
That's a fabulous story. I've never heard that one before.
I texted you about what you got your husband for the 10-year. I remember that.
I remember. Oh, we went to Hawaii.
That's right.
That's where we got each other.
So wait a minute.
That's why you didn't text me back. You were like,
it's like, I'm in Hawaii.
So you guys met in college. You met after work. And how did you meet your husband?
On a fire in Bend. So he was a firefighter. He was putting it out, and I was the little reporter with my camera and my tripod. And that day, I had been dating somebody else, and he broke up with me. And then we were going to have lunch to see if we could be friends, which is so stupid. Anyway, so I got all dressed up that day because I was going to have lunch. So I went out to lunch, and at lunch, to be friends, he told me, oh, I'm dating somebody else. I'm like, well, that's...
Oh, my God.
So I went back to work, and I was upset. I was producing the 5 o'clock news and anchoring the 5 o'clock news and doing my own camera work and, you know, all that, running the prompter with your foot and all that fun stuff. Anyway, I was the only person in the newsroom, and the scanner started going off that there was a house fire. And my news director was like, well, means you got to go. And I'm like, no, I'm having the worst day. He's like, I'm sorry.
Oh, my goodness.
And you could tell it was like a big house fire. So here I go in my, like, 3-inch heels, my little leather jacket, pick up my camera and my tripod and drive over there. I mean, flames coming out of the top of this house. You know, like, everything's cordoned off. I park and walk up there. And in Bend, in the small markets, like if you got certain police or, I mean, if you got those guys on camera and they were on TV, the person on camera would have to buy the rest of their crew.
Yep.
Like
I think they still do that.
That's still weird.
I think they do
have a hard time getting people on camera here for that reason.
Right.
Yeah.
And so everyone started coming up to me. I'm filming. The house is freaking on fire. And everyone's like, oh, hey, get so-and-so on camera. He buys really good ice cream. Or we want to embarrass him, get him on TV. And so I was just in a bad mood. And so I'm looking through the viewfinder, and all of a sudden someone walks by and says, those are some awfully high shoes to be wearing to something like this. And I roll my eyes and I look over, and he was like, ting. I was like, wow. Whoa. I didn't expect to be doing this today. And then he was walking away, and I like zoomed in on the back of his jacket because they have their last names on their coats. And so I remembered his name, and then a few minutes later I interviewed like one of the fire chiefs, this old man, mustache, and old guy. Anyway, go back to work. I tell my girlfriend, kind of a cute firefighter on the scene. And anyway, the next day at work, the receptionist buzzes my desk and says, oh, Dave from the fire department is calling you. And the old man chief is named Dave. Oh. So I was like, oh, yeah, put it through. And I pick up the phone, and he says, oh, he was so nervous. I met you yesterday on the fire. And I was like, yeah, I think I know your last name. And then he was like, oh, yeah, that's me. And I was like, oh, okay. And he was like, oh, I never usually do this, and I was wondering if you'd like to go out for coffee. And I was like, oh, I don't drink coffee, but I'll go have a drink with you. And he was like, okay. And so we hung up, and then I ran down the hallway to the editing bay that my friend was in, and I was like, the firefighter called.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
And
yeah, that's a great story.
But he is so shy, and so I'm shocked that. But it was the same situation. Like
when you know, you know.
Saw me and asked his best friend.
Yeah.
I saw the news lady. Like,
what do I
do? And the friend was like, no way, man, don't call her. Like,
really,
so
he said, don't.
Yeah. Like, what are you doing? And then he asked his sister, and she was like, yeah, like, what's the worst that could happen? Like, maybe she has a boyfriend, or she says no, like, who cares? You're never going to meet her again. Or you say yes, and you never know.
Yeah, there you go.
So that's what he did.
That is so...
You've been married 10 years now?
Yep.
So how long ago was that?
That was 15 years
15
ago.
years ago. Mm-hmm. Wow.
So anyway.
Oh my gosh.
Go out on
Rob St. Helen about your ex says, well, he surely missed out, and you are probably better off.
I am.
Things happen for a reason.
It does, yes.
I love that.
Very
so that
true.
should give everybody hope. It's like you never know, just go for it.
Yep, there you go.
Okay, so give us a quick update on the forecast for New Year's Eve.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, we've got.
Putting you on the spot all over the place.
No, that's okay. I was zoning out, thinking about the deep stuff that we were talking about there. Yeah. Well, we're starting to see just a few showers out there right now, but yeah, this afternoon, probably about 1, 2 o'clock, we're going to start to see the more organized rain move in. Going to be heavy at times as we head into the evening. We're looking at maybe up to a quarter of an inch, up to a half an inch. Yeah.
We need it. Here's your map up here.
Oh, there we do have our New Year's Eve forecast. And so it's also going to be windy. That's the other story weather-wise today. So the winds are going to pick up, going to be rainy, but the temperature's not too bad. In fact, it's going to be about 49 degrees at 8 o'clock. At midnight, 50 degrees, and still 50 degrees when you're heading home from the bars.
Are
2 o'clock
already
in the morning.
celebrating. We started the stream with Pyeongchang, North Korea, and director Brian is now showing us Hong Kong. So they're partying in Hong Kong.
2020 already.
Yeah.
Enjoy, stay safe.
Yeah.
We will see you back
awesome.
here on Thursday. No sunrise show tomorrow for your New Year's Day. We'll see you on Thursday, everyone. Bye.
Happy New Year.
Bye.